Have you ever wondered which countries have the highest number of newborn babies, considered that the world population has exceeded 8 billion? Naturally, one might think of highly populated countries like China, India, or the United States, but newborn babies aren't predominantly from these three countries. Let's start with continents. As expected, Australia, being the least populous continent, doesn't have a high birth rate. If there are 1000 births worldwide, only a total of 5 births occur in the whole of Oceania or Australia. If we look at the population measurements of Australia and New Zealand, we can see that very few people live there. I really wonder why. Now let's move on to South America. As predicted, Brazil, Argentina and Colombia rank in top 3. It's not surprising considering their population. In general, South America is quietly empty. Maybe people from Europe or Asia should consider migration to South America more often. And now let's talk about North America. Of course, we shouldn't expect a higher number from Canada. But the birth rate in the United States is relatively normal compared to the population. 30 is not really bad. Let's head to Africa. Africa is a vast continent and we need to keep that in mind. When we look at Africa as a whole, Nigeria seems to be smiling at us. 57 out of 1000 children are born in Nigeria, which is quite high considering the population. Why is that? There are various factors involved. But one of the main reasons is that Nigeria's economy is still developing. Ranking 131 worldwide in terms of per capita GDP, additionally, access to education for women is not as widespread as it could be. And studies show a strong correlation between higher birth rates and limited educational opportunities for women. Now let's talk about Europe. Small countries, big populations. But interestingly, not many babies are born in Europe. It seems like Europe doesn't want to deal with the crying babies. And finally, the long-awaited continent, of course, is Asia. 1 out of every 2 children in the world is born in Asia. And when we look at the countries, Bangladesh, Indonesia, Pakistan, China and India are starting to make their way into the top 5. Although India and China have almost the same population, India has a much higher birth rate compared to China. Perhaps Chinese policies to reduce childbirth could be one of the contributing factors. So, are these numbers high or low compared to the past? Generally, population growth is happening at a faster pace compared to the past. However, this situation varies from country to country and can differ among regions. Globally, the world population is rapidly increasing. In the 1970s, the world population was approximately 2.5 million, whereas as of 2023, it has reached 8 billion. This shows that population growth is happening quite rapidly. However, despite this, population growth rates may have slowed down or even halted in some regions. Fertility rates are decreasing and population growth rates are slowing down in developed countries. On the other hand, in some developing countries, the population is still growing rapidly. We can take some countries in Africa as an example. Therefore, instead of making a general assessment, it would be more accurate to examine population growth on regional or country scale. So, how is it in your country? I'm waiting for your comments. See you in the next video.